Hey, is that folk music that you play there? What is that? How do you call that folk music?
I think it was Studs Terkel who asked Big Bill Brunzi, did he consider his blues music to be folk music? And Big Bill says, well, never heard no horse.
Don't hesitate. It could be your ticket to a new tomorrow.
It was a beautiful idea when it started, and it hit so hard I never thought it through. Leaving the west side of town, way on up Riverside, rushing down. That's the freest moment this city girl ever knew. Oh, but the beauty of the moment passed so quickly. Now the tingle and the chill got me confused. So as I buckle down, white knuckle a few rounds, those free moments feel so far and few. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. And I can't help myself at all. That's just the way it is. Now I see you crossing the street to come and meet me. Like an image come to mind long ago. Well, there's a smile across your mouth, but those eyes are looking south. If I could see them, what would they let me know? That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. And I can't help myself at all. That's just the way it is. Now I've looked and found and lost and started over. And I've sown and reaped and plowed the ground some more. Lord, I've laid my hammer down, wandered this city all around, and ended up on the streets I've walked before. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. And I can't help myself at all. That's just the way
We're
Thank
here
you.
on Horses Sing None of It. For the third time.
That's right.
Is the charm. We've been going through some technical problems here on Horses Sing None of It, but we're over that now.
That's right.
And we're listening to some music from a young lady who got a fantastic review in Rolling Stone magazine. They talk about her debut album, Not the Trembling Kind, as an austere beauty, a record of such graceful hill country minimalism, sturdy acoustic picking, whispered rhythm, tart electric and pedal steel guitar, that you can hear every ounce of sorrow and steel in her strong, direct voice, pitched somewhere between the bluesy realism of Lucinda Williams and the vintage femininity of Kitty Wells. And they're talking about our guest, Laura Cantrell. Welcome to Horses Sing None of It.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Glad to be here.
Nice to have you. And Laura, you're also the host of a radio show on WFMU 91.9, 91.1 if you're
right.
listening in the New Jersey, New York area, or you can get it on the web too.
That's right, at WFMU.org.
And that's on Saturday mornings from noon to 3.
That's right.
The Radio Thrift Shop with your proprietress,
That's
Laura
right.
Cantrell.
That would be me.
And it's one of my favorite radio shows. I listen to it driving my pickup truck to the grocery store. And you play a mix of old-time country, traditional, and some little jazz and swing, and it's a great mix. I love it.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
And you've been having some great success with your new album, Not the Trembling Kind, which is, by the way, a great title.
Thank you. It's a song title, of course, from one of the songs on the record. It was written by a friend of mine in New York called George Escher. And it's a great song, and we just decided we would borrow the title of it for the record title. So
Nice. Very good. So tell us, you've been back and forth to across the ocean to England,
That's right.
Ireland, and where else? Playing?
Actually, we've been mostly in Scotland and England. I haven't yet been able to go to Ireland, although we're going to go hopefully later this year for the first time to Ireland. But the Not the Trembling Kind, which of course came out here in the U.S. On an independent label in Brooklyn last October called Diesel Only Records, but it first actually was released in the UK on a little independent label there based in Glasgow called Shoeshine Spit and Polish Records. So we had the good fortune to be able to go over at the beginning of last year to Glasgow to play a big folk festival called Celtic Connections, which happens in Glasgow every January. And it just was a great opportunity to go and sort of make acquaintance with the musical community of Glasgow and play some other cities in Scotland. So it was a really wonderful thing for us to do.
Sounds like a lot of fun. So how did Shoeshine Spit and Polish Records discover you?
Well, actually, there was another WFMU DJ named Michael Shelley who has released some music also on the Shoeshine record label. I think originally he had gotten in touch with Shoeshine, and actually, I guess I did also, through just trading music with them. The Shoeshine label put out some 45 records and had of different kind of Glasgow-based bands, and we had sent some of them to WFMU, to the radio station, and some of them had ended up on our, in our new music bin. And I remember that one of the bands was a little country band called the Radio Sweethearts, and they had 45 that on one side was a song called Beer and Whiskey, and the other side was, I'm forgetting the title, but I just thought, how great is this, a little 45 of a beer and whiskey song from a Scottish country band called the Radio Sweetheart. So, it just kind of made an impression on me, and from there we sort of corresponded and traded music,
Of
and
like
eventually,
minds.
yeah. So.
Cool. Well, why don't you give us another tune? What would you like to play for us?
Well, let's see where my capo is. Where I've hidden it. I think we're going to do one that is on Not the Trembling Kind. That's called Churches Off the Interstate. And I'm normally not somebody who does a lot of playing by myself, so well, imagine there's a pedal steel and a mandolin and some other stuff going on. Why try to stay when I can see that there's no reason to? My heart is strong and my feet can move if I tell them to. Time will tell, time will take its toll on you, but my heart can roll even if I don't want it to. And those churches off the interstate cannot help the way I feel inside. Voices on my radio refuse to tell the best places to hide. Coffee in my coffee cup's only good for taking me on a ride. And I don't know which way I'm going, but I'll dive right in and hope I come out fine. My friends will help, they're gonna reach out their arms to mine. They're gonna tell me all of the things that I forgot this time. You're gonna pay, that's what I say to make myself feel better. I'm paying now, but my pain won't last forever. And those churches off the interstate cannot help the way I feel inside. Voices on my radio refuse to tell the best places to hide. Coffee in my coffee cup's only good for taking me on a ride. And I don't know which way I'm going, but I'll dive right in and hope I come out fine. Yeah, I don't know which way I'm going, but I'll dive right in and hope I come out fine. There we go.
Cool. You've got a great voice.
Thank you.
And it has that natural country twang, I guess, because you're from Nashville originally.
Well, I guess in some ways, because I am from Nashville, and also I've listened to a lot of country music, and I think once you've listened to it for most of your life, you kind of can hear that sound and know how to make it yourself. So
That's what happened to me. People ask me all the time, are you from the South? No, I'm from New Jersey.
from New Jersey,
Just listen to too much
from South
country
Jersey,
music.
right?
Not even South Jersey, but maybe West Jersey.
There you go.
But just listen to too much country music and you start sounding like
It
that.
kind of seeps in. That's how it happens.
So you grew up in Nashville and went to college.
I actually came to New York to go to college, and I have stayed in New York since I graduated from school, and that's been quite a while ago now. So I consider myself a New Yorker pretty much at this point.
Now, there's a big cultural difference that I noticed when I visited Nashville. Do you miss that?
Well, it's a small city, and it's in some ways it's a very pleasant place to live. It's of course the Music City, USA, and home of the Grand Ole Opry and of a lot of great sort of music history there. It's also, of course, home to the country music industry. So that is another reality of the city that kind of makes it very unique in some good ways and in some ways that maybe are not so pleasant. So it's an incredible community of musicians, certainly, and it's a very unique place. It's not. I don't think there's really any place like it in the world, just for the concentration of musicians, whether they're country musicians or not. I mean, they're all crammed into that kind of relatively small space. So it's an interesting place. I don't know if you're familiar with the song called Nashville Cats. It was
Oh, yeah.
it's an old song, but Del McCoury did it on a recent album, and he has some line in the song like there's 1,472 pickers in Nashville, and
Every one of them guitar pickers will pick twice as better than I will.
yeah, so it is kind of like that. I mean, there really are hundreds and thousands of musicians there, and they're great. So it's an amazing place.
You have family you go back to visit?
I do. My parents are there, my sister, and I have a pretty big extended family, so we're in Nashville quite often.
What I really noticed when I visited there was that people on the street will be friendly and talk to you and just engage in conversation without even knowing anything about you.
That happens somewhat, although it's funny because I think I see it from being the point of view of kind of being part of the South, and in some ways I think people they're very polite, but they're not very direct, and you can probably get a more honest answer out of just a man on the street in New York about what they really think about something than you can in Nashville, because there people will say, oh yes, come on back now, and I think here people will be like,
Get lost.
That's right. Tell you, they'll say what they really mean in some ways, and a little bit more quickly. So, but that's sort of my own individual.
The insider's look at Nashville.
Yeah, observation. So.
Heard that from another Nashvilleian, actually. When I made the same comment, I got almost the same response. What else would you like to play for us?
Let's see. I think I'm going to do a song that I actually wrote about a country singer that I am very fond of. Her name's Bonnie Owens, and you're probably familiar with her. She was married when she was very young to Buck Owens, and divorced him when she was also very young, and then married Merle Haggard. So she's been married to two of the greats of country music, and she, of course, is a lovely singer and songwriter herself, and made a lot of records in the 60s.
I've heard you talk about her on the radio.
Yep, we've definitely played a lot of her music in the Radio Thrift Shop. And this is a song I actually wrote about her after seeing her perform with Merle Haggard several times. She still tours as part of Merle Haggard's band. She's a backup singer, and so that's sort of what inspired the song. It's called The Queen of the Coast. She was a queen of the coast back in 1965, prettier than most. She could keep a room alive with a catch in her voice and the beehive on her head. Do you remember anything she ever said? Well, some stars fade faster than the rest, and the promise wore off, though she did her best. When she finally looked around for something else to do, what she found was a man who needed what she knew. Have you forgotten? Have you forgiven? Tell me, are you living just a little in your past every day? Time sure has changed you. It's walked right on by you. Does it satisfy you to have so little to say? For the next 10 years she rode around on the bus. She did washing and ironing and picking up, and she had a place to stand at the back of the stage. She was there every night, looking her age. She lent her voice, but she gave her heart, and I guess that must have been the hardest part. But she figured out exactly what was going on, all the love she had given for a song. Then things unraveled like they usually do, and she got her old heart busted up by husband number 2. Have you forgotten?
tells a story, all right?
A little bit of a story.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We should let folks know how to find your website, which is www.lauracantrell with 2 L's.com.
That's right.
And there it is on the screen for those of you who didn't understand
Right
me
there.
or my speaking. You can find out information about your disc and how to get it if you want.
That's right. We've
You
got
can-
some local gig information and whole kinds of stuff on there for people to take a look at.
Right.
So
And a link to Diesel Only, your label.
that's right.
in
Diesel Only
this area.
Records, Brooklyn, New York.
And other interesting links and tidbits.
That's right.
Cool. So let's see. We got about less than 5 minutes to the end of the show. So if there's any important information you want to impart that we haven't covered.
Well, I guess no, I don't have anything earth-shattering to impart here, but I really appreciate being on the program. It's a lot of fun.
That's
It
our
kind of
pleasure.
reminds me of community television. It's a lot like community radio, so it's a kind of familiar feeling.
Same kind of idea, just a slightly
That's
different
right.
media.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah, I love the local community media radio stations in the area. Sure gives a big alternative to the commercial spectrum.
Yeah, you need that alternative
Yeah,
too.
you
So,
do.
shall I
So-
do a short little song? What would you like me to do?
Well, we were going to take it out with a Woody Guthrie number if you still want to do that.
I would love to do
you
that. Do you want to try
could
that
do something
now?
else if you want. Yeah, I think we have just about enough time to do that.
Good. Well, thanks for joining me on the banjo.
My pleasure. This sounds pretty good. I think. I hope.
Now, I think this song is one that's Woody Guthrie played it, but it kind of belongs to a lot of people. It's probably an old blues song that was, verses came from who knows where. So
Well, Woody was well known for stealing songs from every which way.
yeah,
I'm proud of it.
yeah, he appropriated a few in his time. But this one is called New York Town. So let's see if we can do it. Well, I was standing down in New York Town one day. I was standing down in New York Town one day. I was standing down in New York Town one day, singing, hey, 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 hey. Well, I was broke and I didn't have a dime. I was broke and I did not have a dime. I was broke and I did not have a dime, singing, hey, 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 hey. Well, every good man gets a little hard luck sometimes. Every good man gets a little hard luck sometimes. Every good man gets a little hard luck sometimes. Singing, hey, 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 hey. I'm gonna ride that new morning railroad. I'm gonna ride that new morning train. I'm gonna ride that new morning train, singing, hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Ho, 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 ho. Ho, ho, ho. Singing, hey, 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 hey. I was in New York Town one day. I was hanging out in New York Town one day. Well, I'm hanging out in New York Town one